Hello and welcome everyone. I wanted to make a video on my new pendulums. So I now handcraft these pendulums that are so entirely beautiful. I have ones that are crystal points and I have ones that are cone shape. And this one has like a little resin flower tree in it, and it's just so comfortable to hold. It's so soft, it's so nice. But I just wanted to go over how to use a pendulum. Some people were asking me like, well, what do I do with this? So I wanted to make a video on how to use the pendulum. And there are different ways to use it, but this is a very simple and practical way to use the pendulum. And pendulums are a very powerful tool for divination and connecting with your intuition. Whether you're new to pendulums or looking to refine your technique, this video will guide you through the process step by step. The first thing I want to do is talk about what a pendulum is. So a pendulum is typically a weighted object suspended from a chain or cord, and you allow it to swing freely. Then you ask it questions, and it'll move in different directions, providing insight and guidance based on your energy and intention. So it might move this way, it could move this way, it could move this way, it can swirl this way. So there's different ways that it'll start turning depending on what your specific direction is for your yes/no. It's a lot of yes/no questions, maybes, things like that, but you couldn't ask it, what color car should I buy, because it's a yes/no type thing. So before we dive in how to use the pendulum and the technique for that, I want to talk about how to select a pendulum. It's essential to choose a pendulum that resonates with you. So you might be drawn to a specific shape, like a cone or a point or a material. This is clear quartz and this is serpentine. So they're crystals. All the ones that I make have crystal ends, the weighted end, and then I also put different kinds of beads and crystals in the center. These happen to be lava stones. I have rhodonite crystals and hematite ones in this one, and then I have some that have labradorite, have some that have all different kinds. So it really depends on what you're attracted to and what crystal that you should pick. Again, this is serpentine, and it's known for stimulating the crown chakra and promoting spiritual understanding and psychic abilities, which is amazing for a pendulum because that's exactly what we're tapping into. And this pendulum is actually available on my website. It has a little frog. The pendulums have different things on the end, like the pennant type things on the end. This one happens to have a frog with gears on it. All the ones with the cones will have this tree resin flower, different colors, blues, greens, pinks, yellows, teals, all different colors of flowers inside the little resin tree. So you just pick what you're attracted to. And if you go to my website and you look at a pendulum, it will tell you the energies of whatever crystals in it and whatever the end piece is. Whether this will talk about frog medicine on the website, that one will talk about tree medicine. So you pick your pendulum based on what you're attracted to. They usually pick you. I'm not gonna lie, they usually pick you. And when I have them on my table at holistic fairs, people walk up and they speak to them and like, I don't necessarily usually like this color or whatever it is, but this stone is really calling to me, and they buy that one. So and once you have your pendulum, the first thing you want to do is you want to clear and cleanse the pendulum. So you can use all different kinds of things to cleanse. Some crystals you can run underwater to cleanse them. Some crystals you cannot put in water. So I avoid water at all costs because I have so many different crystals that I don't want to have to remember, oh, these can go in water and these can't go in water. So I don't use the water technique, but you definitely can. You can burn sage in cleanse the crystal with sage. Or if you don't like burning sage, or you're in a place you can't burn sage, then I have this Sacred Mist smudging spray on my website as well, that you can just give it a little squirt and it'll cleanse the pendulum for you. You can place it on selenite, so you can get, if you have selenite, you can always just lay it on the selenite for a few minutes, including the beads, because again, these are lava stones, or they might be labradorite, or whatever they are. You put them on there so that the whole thing can be cleansed. That's another way that you can cleanse your pendulum. And this will help to remove any energies that are on the pendulum, whether they're cleansed when I send them to you, but who knows what energy they went through on their way to get to you. So we want to cleanse the pendulum before we use them, and we want to cleanse it regularly. Like, I might be asking about job opportunities or financial opportunities today, but tomorrow I want to ask about relationship, or where I might be holding it over a map to see where I should road trip to next. So you want to cleanse them and place intentions into them before you're using them for different things. So once you have your pendulum, many available on my website, and once it's cleansed, it's time to prepare for your pendulum work. So you want to find a quiet place where you're not going to be disturbed. It's not very hard for me since I am lucky enough to live alone, but you want to find a quiet space where you can focus on without any distractions. You may want to take a few deep breaths in, so just calm yourself. Take a few deep breaths in. What I like to do when I do that is I will breathe. I'm a Taurus. We're always thinking. Stuff's always going on up here. So what I like to do is just take a deep breath in, swirl all that energy around into my thoughts and my mind, and then pull all that energy down and let it drain right down into my heart. And then it just clears the mind. It's amazing. I do that 3 times, and my Taurus brain is calm and isn't doing all that thinking that it's doing all the other time. So just centering yourself. And if you're someone who lives up here, like you got lots of thoughts, you got lots of things going on, or you just feel out of your body, you would want to ground too. So you can imagine roots going down from your feet into the earth and just mingling in with the earth. I put mine in with the tree branches, around rocks and stones down there in the earth, right down into Pachamama's heart center, and pull that energy up so that I'm grounded down into the earth as well. And if you can do it, walk out in the grass barefoot. I love to do that. That's also another way to ground. I live in Minnesota, so it's not always possible, but I have been known to clear the snow away so that I can put my feet on the grass for a few minutes, as long as I can stand it. So then you're ready. You're ready to start asking questions. But first, you want to set your intention for whatever it is that you're doing. So you would want to ask it questions. If you want to gain clarity, you might say, I intend to gain clarity on the next steps in my career path. You could ask it relationships. I intend to understand how I can improve my communication in my current relationship. You can ask just to connect with your higher self and receive messages and support, things like that. So by stating your intention clearly before using your pendulum, you create a focused framework for your session, enhancing the clarity of the answers that you will receive. All right, and another thing I wanted to point out is if you buy a pendulum on my website, you also get a card with what the crystal is and then what the properties of that crystal are, and it comes in a cute little bag as well. So that is the card for the serpentine pendulum, which we are going to be using today. All right, so the next thing you want to do, once your pendulum is picked out and in your hands and cleansed, and you set your intention, you're going to start asking questions. But before you start asking the bigger questions, you have to determine what is the yes and what is the no for you and your pendulum. when I work with different pendulums, I will test each one separately. But it has forever always been, with every single pendulum I ever worked with, my yes goes back and forth. My no goes this way. If it's a maybe, it'll swing clockwise. I think it looks counterclockwise. Can I even say clock? It looks counterclockwise in the video, but it is clockwise. And then an I don't know is the counterclockwise for me. But again, I may pick up a pendulum tomorrow or later today, you know, one of those beautiful ones that I sell, and test it, and it may totally be different than every single pendulum I've ever tried it with. So you want to test your pendulum, and if you get a different pendulum, you want to test each one separately, and it may be the same for everyone, and it may be different for everyone. So the first thing you want to do is ask it questions that you know the answer to. So some people will hold their hand under it. You don't need to. They also have like round boards that have the yes, no on it, but I don't use those ever because my pendulum goes, I know what the pendulum is. If it's swinging this back and forth, it's a yes. If it's swinging side to side, it's a no. So I don't use the board at all, but you can hold your hand under, but you don't need to. And you just would start out by holding it, letting it dangle, and then ask it. You want to try to make it so it's stopped before you start anything. And I also like, it's maybe a little bit too low for this video, but I like to put my elbow on a sturdy surface so that it's more the pendulum moving than me like holding it up and shaking. Not that I shake like that, but you never know. All right, so I stop the pendulum, and then I say, my name is Sherry. Is my name Sherry? And see, right away it started swinging to the yes. And then I might say, you can either stop it with the next question, or you can just let it swing and let it dangle. See, it's already stopping because I'm not asking it a question. But then you can say, is my name Jack the Ripper? And now it's swinging to the no. And as long as I use pendulums, I am always still like amazed that they just stop in the middle of a swing in one way, slow down, and then start swinging a different way when you ask a new question. It's totally incredible. And you could ask it things like, you know, I live in Minnesota. Yes. I live in Texas. No. And again, it'll give you a maybe. Like you could just ask it, what is my maybe? And hopefully it does it. What is my maybe? Never ceases to amaze me. What is my I don't know? See how that stopped when I asked it and it just started going a different way? It's amazing. So once you established your yes, no, maybe, I don't know, you can start asking it questions. It's important to phrase your questions clearly and specifically. For example, you don't want to ask, will I be happy? You could ask, is my happiness connected to pursuing my passion for photography or whatever it is? And then remember, the clearer the question, the clearer the answer. So not will I be happy, but will I be happy in the pursuit of my passion for photography? Simple. You can also use it to make decisions. Like say you have a big meeting that you're going to, and you're like, I don't know if I should wear the red outfit or if I should wear the blue outfit. And you can lay them out on the bed, and then you can hold your pendulum over the red outfit, and it might swing a little bit. And you're like, oh, okay, that's, you know, that's kind of good. And then you hold it over the blue, and it'll start swinging like this, and you're like, okay, I should wear the blue outfit. And you never know, like the person you're meeting with that you may be trying to get an opportunity from or something like that, they may hate the color red, and that's why the pendulum is telling you, don't wear that red outfit. You'll walk in the door and they'll be like, ugh, they're wearing red. You know, people are petty like that too. So, and they may do it subconsciously where you don't even know and not be petty. They may just like not like it, so it brings up something in them. So the pendulum can tell you wear the blue outfit because you're more likely to get the outcome that you want from the meeting if you're wearing the blue outfit. You can do it with food. You can do it with, you know, you're at a restaurant. You can hold it over a menu. Is this better for my body today? You know, should I eat this? Or would this be better for my body today? So you can use it for any kind of decisions. I've seen people use it at crystal stores, holding it over this crystal. And it swings a little bit. Okay, it's kind of good. And then you hold it over this one and it's just going. Getting deeper into it, you can use it to walk around your house and see if there's any energies in there that you don't want. Or you can hold it over your chakras to see if, you know, they're spinning nicely. You can even, going deeper into it, you can, if you think there's some kind of portal in your house, this sucker will spin. If you have a portal in your house, you're going to have this. Like for real, it will do that. And some of you don't want to know if you have portals in your house, and that's totally fine. You can just ask it if you should have your leftover pizza or if you should make some chili. Like, you know, whatever it is, whatever questions you want. Just keep in mind as you ask questions, observe how the pendulum is moving. Keep in mind that it may take a moment for the pendulum to respond, so be patient. So it may just hang there for a little while and then start swinging to your no. Or if you're letting it swing to the no and then you ask it another question and it's still swinging to the no, don't think it's necessarily a no. You have to be patient and allow it to slow down, stop, and then start swinging to your yes or your I don't know or whatever it is. So be patient when you're doing this and, you know, just observe how the pendulum is moving and trust your intuition and guidance and the guidance you receive from the pendulum's movement. So again, you can use it for all those different types of things. And then you're going to close the session. So you don't want to ever just leave the session open because it's important to close the session. You want to, it's a good practice to thank your pendulum. It's a good practice to have gratitude for a lot of things in your life, but we're talking about pendulums today. So it's good to thank your pendulum and any energies that assisted you. Your guides could be the one, you know, flicking it for you. So anything that's working with you and your pendulum, you want to thank them as well. And then you can also re-cleanse it to reset it. So when you're done with your session, if you want to take your spray and it'll be ready for the next time, you can, or you do that at the beginning of each session, or both. I carry one in my purse. This is the one I carry in my purse. So when I'm done asking it something, I will cleanse it at the end of that, so that when I'm out somewhere, if I don't have my spray, which I usually don't have it out, I can still use my pendulum. I can clear it with a lot of ways. You can actually also clear things with clapping your hands, so any kind of noise. I use my shaman drum a lot to cleanse things, a rattle, but you can use it clapping your hands. You can always have they have little tiny selenite pieces you can have in your purse and to cleanse that, but anything like that. So thank you for joining me today. I hope this has been an empowering video and that it helps you use your pendulum confidently. And don't hesitate to ask any questions that you have.